your focus needs to immediately get on that tail, like where he's got kind of a rub mark on his tail where he's been rubbing his tail, so it's like a rat's nest. You're going to go looking right at that little rat's nest piece, right? And you're going to be like, and it's a very predatorial, I'm coming to get you kind of thing. And then what your body language is going to say, I suggest you move. Your head's going to be the cue. That's going to be like how you tell him. So that way from a distance, you can tip your head and he's going to spin out and look at you. It's kind of a turn and face cue. Okay, so go ahead and see if, try not to look back at him, try to only focus, your focus, as soon as you think about the tail, your focus is on the tail. Okay, I just actually had come up with a new way and I started explaining it this way. You ever see somebody, and usually it's a child, at like cafeteria, and I think of a pencil on the table and the kid goes, I learned a magic trick, I can make that pencil move, right? You remember like seeing somebody intensely staring at a pencil thinking they're going to make it move. That's the look you want to put on his tail. You want to just give it, like you want to burn a hole in it to see if you can make it move. Tip his nose slightly. Keep going, keep going. Nope, we didn't do it yet. Till that hind foot closest to you crosses under his belly. There. Good. So there he started to block you because he didn't understand. Did you notice how he started to tip his head where he blocked this side of him with his own head? So what you're going to do is you're going to try to make sure that you don't get out of position. So what happened in that case was you kind of kept walking towards him. So you want it to just mean it from this spot right here. Okay? Good boy. You're a good man. You're so smart. You're so smart. You're a good guy. Okay. So I would not go past where the back of your fender on your stirrup would be, right? So I would not go past here, and then I would put all my focus there. Now, what you can do is say he doesn't move. Now, you've stood here and you've stared at him and he didn't move. Now, what I do is I take the end of the line and I let about 12 inches hang. I walked in a spider web again. I let about 12 inches hang out of my hand. And then if I have to, what I'll do is I'll put it off to the side of me. It's kind of like having a gun in a holster hidden under your shirt, and you go, I got it if I need it. That's the impression you want to give him when you put the rope out to your side. You want to give him the impression that you've got a gun. You could use it if you need to, but you're just going to show it to him. Then if he doesn't move, you're going to put a fan out here. You can create energy out here. Then you're going to also, instead of getting closer to him to hit him with that 12 inches, you're okay, buddy. Good boy. When you swing that rope, when you open it, it gets longer. And then you can tap him at that point. And then you want to try to be as accurate as you can where you tap him. So, you're all right, buddy. You would tap him like right here. Okay. Yep. Don't move anymore. Now you're going to ask him to respond to you. So, yep. And keep going until that hind leg closest to you crosses. Show him your rope out to your side. Yep. First you want to show it to him, then you want to swing it. So first you're going to show it to him for like a count of 2, then you're going to swing it. And then you're going to stay swinging it until he crosses over. And only if you have, that's bug related, that's not because of you. Till he crosses over, you're not done till he crosses over. Try not to let him get you out of position though. Till he crosses over, he's not done until he crosses over. Not done yet, till he crosses over. Go ahead and let that get longer and see if you can tap him slightly till he crosses over. Keep looking at his tail, tip your head, keep looking at his tail. Don't hit his legs or he might kick out. And stop. Good. It's okay, buddy, it's okay. Whew. You're all right. You don't know half the stuff in the world going on is okay. You're okay. Okay. Do another one. It's okay. Good, and stop. Good. Good boy. He's very, very, very like, and I'm not saying you guys don't communicate well with him. I'm just saying he's very nervous, and he's one of the problems that he has is because he just doesn't know if he's doing anything right. So he's very, very nervous, and that's really his only teacher, right? And she's a bully a little bit, right? So he's kind of never really feels okay. He's not, you know, that's why I wanted to do the head down, you know, and to help him also with the crossing over his feet. I want to help him find a little sense of self-confidence that he just doesn't have any. So, but any abrupt movements is why he's like, he almost, if you can almost see him hold his breath. Okay, so we want to help him not have to do that anymore. Okay, go ahead and see if you can't cross his hind legs over. First, you're going to look. You want him to get the best deal. The best deal is just to respond to your look. No? So now show him. Don't swing it yet. Just show it to him. Now go, yep, good. Good boy. So the best deal is your look. The second best deal is, I've got this if I need it. The third is, I'm going to show it to you a little bit more clearly. You must not see it. The worst deal is, now I've got to touch you to make this happen. We don't want to make anything happen. We want him to actually just respond to, oh, I know what that means. So imagine that every cue you give him is a word, and he's being given a definition now. Because it would be terrible to go through life not having definitions to everything people say to you. So we want to make sure that we give him definitions to everything that we say. Okay, so now we're going to try it on the other side. Now, remember, this is actually his better side, so he'll probably be a little bit more responsive. But treat him like he doesn't know it, because this is a different horse on this side. And stop. Good, good. And what I like is that you get from this and then you do stand up, and that's exactly what I want you to do. I want you to make it obvious that it's over. One of the ways that when we drain our energy, the best way to describe it I've come up with is like a little kid who's asking to stay up 10 minutes longer than their bedtime, right? And they're like, please, please, please. And the mom says no, and they're like, fine, right? That drain of energy is what you want to do when you're done. So every time you come alive and say, I want you to do something, and then they do it properly, you allow all that energy to come out of your body. That's the best way to tell him he got it right. He needs, this horse specifically needs to know he's getting things right. He needs to find a way to be proud of himself. He is very, very, very insecure horse, which, you know, we can fix, but he's definitely extremely insecure. Okay, go ahead and ask him to yield that hind leg. Yes, good, good. Oh, good boy. Okay, we'll do one more. And wait, keep asking. Say you still haven't done it yet. You still haven't done it yet. Show him your support. Just show it to him. There. Good. 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 So I always call my extra piece of line support, or if I have to physically touch them, that's your support. So anytime that we want to support him, like, oh, you didn't really hear me? Here, let me support that with a physical response. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what the backup is. Now the backup's really cool because you can ask them to back up from anywhere if you just go like this at him. So we want to make sure that he learns that particular movement. So what I do, and I'm just going to borrow the end of the line, is I hold the popper in my hand, and then I just wiggle my hand at him. If that doesn't make him back up, then I turn it into my wrist. If that doesn't make him back up, then I turn it into where it wiggles underneath him. Good boy. He did learn it last time, so he's pretty good at it. So if you, but now, so I've kind of turned it into where I'm calling it the pencil, which I have to find another way, but that's, like where you're staring at the pencil to make the pencil move. So if you put your pencil right here, that's what you're looking for. Now, what's really cool is when you know that the message that you just gave him went from his brain to his physical, I'm going to do it, this crease right here gets deeper. So that's when you want to stay steady at what you're saying and don't get any louder, because it's possible that he's going to do it. So if you get louder, you're going to punish his thought. So you want to make sure that if he goes and starts to think about backing up, just stay steady, don't relax, but say, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you're about to do it. And then if he stalls out, or that fills back in, because it'll fill back in when he changes his mind, then you're going to say, oh, I thought you knew what I wanted. How about I tell you a little bit louder? But you're not going to get real loud. The only time you're going to get real loud is if he just kind of stands there like, and you know that you're not mistaken about what you're trying to say. You're the cat in the grass, and you're not mistaken about what you want to say. If he chooses not to move after, like, if that gets creased and then uncreased, or oh boy, you want to make sure that then, if you ever played that game, oh boy, you're okay. You ever play that game with a towel where you dip the end of the towel and you, okay, but you have to be very accurate. So if you don't think you're going to be accurate, I don't want to see him get hit in the nose. I don't want you to see you hit him on the shoulder, because if you hit him on the shoulder, you're going to cause him to go that way. So you have to be real accurate to get dead center and make sure that it's low enough that you're not going to accidentally hit him in the face. Good boy. Good boy. You're right. Okay. So you're going to give him a look, like, I need you to get out of my way. You're going to cause very little movement. You're just going to actually have the movement be only in your hand. You want the hand that's holding the rope that will eventually cause, so that's either you're going to use that hand or you're going to use this hand. Since he already understands that we don't have to start at the farthest point of the line, but what I usually do is I start at the farthest, I drop all the line between him and I, start at the farthest point, and then I start creating a snake vibration on the ground before I make it move his snap. Once I move his snap, if he's not responding to me moving his snap, I'll take my 12 inches and I'll support.
Okay, so I'm not holding the end.
You would hold the end if, well, we'll try it this way and see if he, because I think I already taught it well enough that he doesn't need all of it from the beginning. But you're going to look at his chest. Your point is you want him to move his chest. See how that just got deeper? Good. Good. And stop. Good. And by stopping, you said that's far enough. And the same thing when they're coming at you. Say you've invited him to come to you. When you stand up, you say that's far enough. That also tells him that he doesn't come any farther. Closer. Go ahead and ask him to take a step back again. First it's your look, then it's your action. Because you want to make sure that he gets the best deal. Good. Good. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, so now I want to see if you can do it from further away. Good. Now, see what you just did to lengthen your rope. I just want you to be conscious of how often you actually do that, and if your horse ever backs up as a result. Because he did exactly what you told him. Like, he actually was about to back up because you put that vibration in the line. We do that a lot when we're just trying to lengthen our line. But, like, say if when we get to the point where we're doing stuff out on the circle, if you try to lengthen your line by wiggling, if he were to stop and look at you, he did exactly what you told him to do. So I'm going to kind of, like, get you guys very aware of how much you say that you don't know you're saying. I know, right? We're going to get it all straight, aren't we? Yes. Okay. So he kind of wasn't wrong because I moved away. So go ahead and ask him to at least get him back in the position he was in from where you are. Don't get any closer to him. The only thing you'll do to get closer to him is that step towards him. That's the only thing you'll do that would make it. Yep, so best deal. Best deal. Good. So that's all asking and worry. So I don't know if you saw what his ears did. His ears first said, wait, what? And then his ears said, uh-oh, what? Okay, so when his ears went out to the side, that was worry. Okay, so then that's when you want to just be like, I'm not trying to be mean to you. You know, you want to give him the impression you're not trying to be mean to him, but you're just trying to say something.
How many steps back do you want him to take?
So in that case, I just wanted him to take both front feet till they were even with each other. One step back and then both level. Because you don't want to bite off more than, you don't want to be greedy. Because when you're greedy with them, then they think of other things. So like say he's still learning to back up. And then you say, okay, I want you to just keep backing up. Well, he may back up 3 steps and then he might go sideways because he doesn't know that he did it right. So you can't be greedy at first. Okay, so go ahead and ask him to, yep. And stay right where you are. He's going to back away from you. Yep. Yep. Now take it like kind of a lunging step towards him and you're going to flip him in the chest. Say, hey, I was talking to you. Good. Good. And stop. Good. So the trick is always going to be that he gets to back a step away from you. So you're going to say, I want you to back up. And you're going to say, back up. And then you're not going to go any further with him. He should then be able to back still a step away from you. So we're not going to keep following him backwards. We want him to back away from us. So go ahead and see if you can get him to back away from you. Don't go with him. You're backing him away from you. Just allow the line to get longer in your hand. So how you would do that is you would just now go ahead and take a step towards him now because he stalled out on you. Good, and stop. Now, did you see what this foot did? Okay, so it's okay because I told you to stop, but that foot said, I'm leaving. So that's not truly backing up. When a horse backs up true, they back up straight no matter what. So when he did that, you can even see the drag mark. He said, am I supposed to leave? Okay, it's nothing you need to do different other than you need to be more clear. Okay, so it's not that you need to change your position. You don't need to jump out in front of him. You actually need, like if say he did start to leave, you would just keep telling him to back up until he gets on the right page again. So if he were to suddenly leave, he just got on the wrong page. Okay. Okay, so always think of like them when they are going like kind of not what you want, that they just got on the wrong page, and it's your job to get them on the right page. So what we'll do is we'll ask him to back up again, and he looks like, because we released on it. So he may now have said, oh, he was thinking I should leave. So he may think to leave this time. And if he does, what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of keep, your focus is backing up. And now you can't quit until he goes straight back, no matter where he is. Okay. Remember, if you back up, he comes with you. It's not, he didn't do anything wrong. He's following your draw. And stop. Good. Now, I don't know if you could tell, he still has worry in his ears. And I do want you to only look at his feet or his chest. I usually stare between their knees and their feet because I don't want to put too much pressure on them. So if your peripheral, especially above peripheral vision is good, you can see what his ears are doing. And his ears being worried just means that he's not fully understanding what you want. And your goal would be to say, you know this means back up, and him go, of course I know that, right? But right now he's like, maybe I'm doing it right. That's why his steps are kind of like, maybe I don't know if this is right. But the fact that good boy, that's what you want right there. The fact that he's asking questions and still doing it, and then looking for approval. He's looking for like you to tell him, yeah, you're right, you did a great job. Good boy. Okay, so what time is it? Promise next time I'll have my phone. Okay, so we have 8 more minutes. Normally I'd have an alarm going off. Okay. Let's do some physical. So the same exact thing, except for this time we're going to do it where we're actually physically asking him. So we don't want, like if I start to come in and I'm going to physically ask him to do something, I don't want him to move. I want him to wait until I tell him. Because there's going to be times that my physical instructions are going to be important. So I'm going to tell his head to go, his shoulder to go. Good. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So it's the same thing, but I usually, instead of the karate chomp, you're just going to put your hand physically here. You put your hand physically here. You're going to step into his space, and you're just going to wait him out. So that's not it yet. Still, he's just looking for another answer. Should I put my head to my side? What should I do? Lower my head? What should I do? I'm not sure what I should do. And there. And then, so when you put your hand on him, good boy, you're a good boy, is you're going to do it where you're going to touch basically his fur, then his skin, then his muscle, then the bone. So you're going to kind of do like those increments of pressure. After you hit the bone, you're not going to turn it into a bigger push or shove. You're just going to kind of be like a rock in a shoe, right? You just want to be a little bit like, he's going to eventually say, oh, okay, it's kind of uncomfortable, and he's going to move away. If you turn it into a push, horses, he weighs what, 1,500 pounds? He can push harder than you. You're never going to win that game. So instead of doing it as a push, you're going to do it as a suggestion. You're a good boy. Okay, so once you get to where, say, you're pushing, if he goes to leave, you're going to let him leave. You're not going to follow. Okay? So he can step off of you. I know, you're so nice. Yes. Okay. So you're looking for the same thing, crossing over his front feet. So one hand open on his cheek, one hand open on his shoulder, and you're just going to kind of step like you're planning on walking right through him if he doesn't move. Yep, now just wait. Don't turn it into a push. Don't push. I see you pushing. Keep going. He didn't do it. He just backed up. He just looked for another answer. Still not yet. Yep, just stay with him. Once he learns everything, you won't have these struggles, but we have to teach it to him. He has to practice it there. He has to practice the times tables before he can just do it automatically in his head. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and bring him back over here. I think the camera's on you, but this way you can just make sure you see how you do it. Good. Now go ahead and do one more. Now you've gotten 2 successful. Now if you get a 3rd successful. Yep. Yep. And then don't turn it into a push. Just and stop. Good. Excellent. Excellent. So now the hind yield. So you're going to do that on both sides, but we're just going to do this side because we don't have enough time for both things. So the hind yield, again, it's the same thing. Now we've got him to respond to where we just look at his tail. Now we want to make sure that we can actually say, like if he's standing tight and we need him to step over, or like if you have what do you call it, a slant load horse trailer or whatever, and you need the horse to step over so you can close the ramp. You're not going to want to do any kind of driving energy. You're going to want to be able to just put your hand on him and say, hey, step over. So we need that too. So what you'll do is the same thing. You'll slightly tip his nose. You'll rub him, make sure that your intention doesn't cause him to move yet. Then this is where you would use it as a leg cue. So if you were riding your horse. So don't push him on his hip because I can't do that with my leg. So you're not going to be able to do that with your leg. So I want to make sure that, say, here's the saddle. Okay. Your leg probably would tell him to move right about here. So you're going to tip his nose slightly, tell him he's a good boy, and then say, I need you to move your hip over. And then you're going to just apply right here until his hip moves over. I know, I'm just going to borrow you for a second. Go ahead. No, don't bite me. Don't bite me. I know. So now I'm not turning it into a push. I'm just saying, hey, now I'm between his ribs with my fingertips. I'm just going to say, hey, that might get uncomfortable enough that you might want to step off of that. You want to step off of that? And it may take a minute. Keeping his nose tip helps him. So I haven't changed my pressure. I just came with him. Now he's looking for another answer. That's all he's doing. He's just like, hey, stop that. Stop that. I want you to stop that. He doesn't know that if he just does this particular move, that it will stop. So I haven't taken any. I'm between his ribs with my fingertips. I can feel him breathing. But see, I'm not pushing him. Just a steady feel. The only reason I'm keeping his okay, so that he's going to stay in a straddle position. I'm not going to accept that, unfortunately for him. I know. Another answer. You're looking for wrong answers, though. You'll get it. You'll get it. Like, okay, what does this have to do with? I don't know what this has to do with. That's all he's doing. He's just trying to figure out why you got your fingers in my ribs. What do I need to make you to do to stop it? I know, right? Crazy. Crazy lady. What is she doing to me? Nope. So I might just, correct that a little bit. I know, right? What are you going to do? What else would work? That's all. What else would work? What do you think else would work to make that stop? I know, it's crazy. What else do you think you could do? Nope. So I might even try to help him a little bit by pulling him this way and see if I can help him. You're having a hard time with this one, handsome, huh? I know, crazy. Go ahead. You can do it. Potato bug on the rig. So I haven't changed anything. I'm still just waiting on him to think of the right answer. He's figured out it has nothing to do with his head. Nope. Backing up's not the right answer. But that is enough. I'm going to give it to you. Yeah. I know. It's crazy what I was just doing to you. Okay. So he's going to give you a little bit of a hard time with that. Now that's another thing. Like, as a riding horse, he should know that. He should know that if you put your leg back here, it means to yield my hind end. So the fact that he doesn't know that is a good thing you're learning it now, huh? Okay. So you're going to rub him to make sure he doesn't just automatically assume what you want to do. We don't want our horses to ever assume anything because assumptions will get you in trouble. And where you take your legs to go back from the saddle is where you're going to go ahead and put pressure. And keep going, keep going, keep going. Just hold on. Again, you look for another answer. Keep going and stop. Good. Good boy. Good boy. That's right. Go ahead and go right back to it. Sometimes some horses, if you go right back to it, they get it faster. Some horses need longer soak times. He's the kind of horse that probably can go right there. Good. Okay, go do another one. Don't let him assume. You're going to rub him if he's just assuming. Good. And then go ahead and ask. And good boy. Good. So there's your solid 3. Right? Now, he truly didn't understand that, but your release is what taught him, and then you are going right back to it. Said, oh, can you give me one more? How about one more? But some horses, like she could be the type of horse where if you do that with her, she may really have a hard time and need to just kind of decompress and soak on it. Some horses need soak time. Some horses need you to go, that's right, let's do it again. Okay? He's going to be, for right now, that's right, let's do it again. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're doing stuff with him. Okay. Good boy. So I would say for you guys, your energy's good. You basically, I don't care, you kind of want him to believe that it doesn't really matter to you if he does it or not. You got all day. If you give him the impression that it does matter to you, okay, then he's going to get worried because your impatience, your growing frustration will become a problem for him. You don't have that energy, so hopefully it doesn't become, so that's this way when you say, well, I'm out here for, till it happens. If you can have that until it starts, until the sun comes back up, I'm willing to be out here for that. If he gets that impression, then he's going to look for answers more than he's going to look for answers if you start getting frustrated. Or if you start like, come on, and you start turning it into something different, because then he's never going to learn it. If you keep changing the way it's said, he's never going to learn it. Bicycle has always got to be bicycle. Good boy. So I would do your rhythmic movements, which is the ball and looking for something in his tail, remembering to put water in that ear so your head tips. And so I don't know if I told you guys, when they yawn, it means that you got in their head. So, yeah. He'll probably yawn like 10 times in a row now. It's super cool. It's kind of like their way of telling us, wow, that really got in my head. And then we'll do the physical this week and do the rhythmic this week. And what I'll do then is then I'll have you guys, next week, I'll have you, oh boy, I'll have you guys doing stuff where he's on the circle, and then you'll be able to use those certain things. You'll be able to rhythmically tell his shoulders to go away. You'll be able to tell his hind end to go away from a distance. Isn't that cool? I always know I did something right when they do that. Good boy. Oh, we have to get that other halter on him. They make the little leather straps that you can pick up at Tractor Supply that turn these into breakaways.
Yeah, I have one. It's broken. I got to put it back together.
Yeah, they make just this piece. You can just pick up this piece from Tractor. You can just get this piece from Tractor Supply.
I do, but when it
the
broke,
conch shell,
the
whatever.
screws that go together, they're gone.
Okay.
They're somewhere out in the yard.
Okay.
Actually, it's sitting there on the bench because I got it.
Yeah, because I've actually seen a horse have to get put down because it was rolling underneath something, got caught. They didn't know it got caught, and it struggled and struggled and struggled till it finally colicked. Yeah. And that's when they found it, when it was colicking, and they had to put it down just because it didn't have the right kind of halter on. And sadly enough, the halter was stretched out from a pony halter to like a draft length halter. That's how much it was struggling. I will, yeah, I'll give you that information.
Ones we have are really stiff.
Yeah, they're like burlap, right? They're terrible. Yep. The only place I recommend is the place I will recommend, but I don't usually do that on camera. Don't promote anybody. Even though I've already said something about Tractor Supply. You're a good man. Look at you all sweaty and you didn't even do anything. Okay. Oh, I love mouthy horses. Horses that he'll love it when we start doing stuff that involves all this stuff. I'll bring. If you guys have I don't know, is that what you do?
It hangs in the big part. Right in, yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay. You're a good guy.